Russia gets hit with sanctions over Ukraine, and here in America, the Hawks have taken flight. Plausibly live and just a little off color, the Seannie Mac Show begins right now. Hey, welcome to the program. My name is Seannie Mac. It's a pleasure to have you with us. As you may have noticed, things in Europe are a little less stable tonight, as Russian Bond villain Vladimir Putin has deployed troops to two small Russian separatist territories in eastern Ukraine, which he has just declared independent. Now, to be clear, they are a part of Ukraine. He just said they're different countries now, which again, you're not allowed to do. If you could, we would have waved bye-bye to Florida years ago. While appetite for ground conflict over the move is small, the West has let Putin know he will not be attending this year's office party.
The president, for the first time Tuesday, called Russia's move an invasion.
This is the beginning of a Russian invasion.
The president also slapping stiff new sanctions on Russia, targeting two large banks and imposing penalties on Russian debt, which the president says means Moscow can no longer raise money from the U.S. and Europe, while also sanctioning several Russian elites with close ties to Putin. And the president warned he's prepared to do more.
Ha! Yeah, suck on that, Vlad. In addition to the bank and oligarch sanctions, Germany has put a stop to the building of a new natural gas pipeline out of Russia called Nord Stream 2. Now, this is the first level in a series of punishments intended to hit Russia's only real economic value, which is their oil and gas industry. And while publicly, the West has taken a very tough posture toward the behavior from Russia, privately, their take is a lot more calculated. And we know that because it wasn't private anymore after Grandpa Biden veered off script back in January.
So I think what you're going to see is that Russia will be held accountable if it invades. And it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc.
Yeah, minor incursions. Yeah, what do you want me to do? He wants to go in with just a tip. What are you going to do about it? So Putin inches his way in, and we slap him with the first level of sanctions. The next level would be financial sanctions on him personally, and the final level is forcing him to eat by himself in the UN cafeteria. Love sloppy Joe Day. He can't get enough. But being by himself might not be a joke to Putin at this point. In an attempt to explain his recent behavior, the leaders of France and Germany, who have been speaking with him directly, are saying publicly now that during COVID, he has become even more paranoid and adrift. And he's actually isolated himself with the COVID sanctions to the point that he won't let anyone anywhere near him. So this all could just be COVID fatigue? I watched Tiger King twice. My sourdough recipe no good. I get bored. I invade Ukraine. So while this may look to you like a predictable overreaction of a desperate autocrat trying to revive his dying petrostate, that's not exactly what's happening. And I know that because our hawks have been teaching me about the real reason for Putin's aggression.
But none of this happens if the West is not perceived as fragmented and weak, and that happened under Joe Biden. It is not a coincidence that the pullout from Afghanistan happened just a few months ago, and right after that, Putin started getting extraordinarily aggressive on Ukraine's border.
I don't believe Vladimir Putin would have a couple of 100,000 troops on the border of Ukraine had we not precipitously withdrawn from Afghanistan.
Yes, of course, Afghanistan. If we were in Afghanistan for our 21st year, Ukraine would be one big happy family. See, if we were just at war, always, forever, the world would know we were really serious. Vladimir Putin didn't start being aggressive toward former Soviet states along his border until Joe Biden and his band of hippies pulled us out of Afghanistan. Putin doesn't have any regional concerns or geopolitical calculations. He's like a bear in the wild. He only knows two things: strength and weakness.
And the fact is that Joe Biden and his predecessor, Barack Obama, the Democratic Party in the Oval Office, were extremely conciliatory toward Moscow. I know we're all going to pretend now that this is all about Trump, but there is something to the fact that nothing happened between Russia and Ukraine for the entire period of Donald Trump's presidency. He was too unpredictable for Putin to actually peg down. Putin didn't know what to do with Trump. He didn't know what to do with the Democrats.
Senator Lindsey Graham calling them woefully inadequate to deter Putin's efforts to redraw the European map and dismember a neighboring democracy.
The Obama model is for weakness. They avoid war, frankly, by accepting surrender of their own interests. In effect, Biden has done for the Ukrainian border what he did for the American border. He's made it wide open. He's doing nothing effective. And I think there's a 50-50 chance Russia's going to go a lot further.
That's right. You weaklings always ruin everything. We can never have nice things with you people around. The sanctions suck. Putin's going to take all of Ukraine. It's all going to hell. Because remember, Russia only storms across their border when our president is a giant pussy who won't stand up to them. Putin has done it twice now with Ukraine. Didn't this puppet prime minister also do it another time?
Russia's military might much in evidence. Its army on the move in western Georgia.
Russian planes again bombing Georgian targets this morning. It is the fourth day of battling over Georgia's disputed province of South Ossetia.
Oh, yeah. That little dust up over Georgia in August of 2008. Which of our weak-kneed, hemp-smoking presidents let that happen? What was his relationship like with Putin?
To be very straightforward and trustworthy. We had a very good dialogue. I was able to get a sense of his soul. He's a man deeply committed to his country and the best interests of his country.
Oh, yeah. Cowboy Seegersol was in charge then. And his situational assessments were always spot on. I know, it seems so simple. If we just got in his face a little bit, rattled the cage, shoved him up against the locker, he would know that we mean business and give up his dream of reclaiming the empire. But he knows we're not going to war over Ukraine, and we know that the only card he really has is the leverage that is given to him by Russian oil and gas. So this is the game we play now. And until either NATO halts its expansion or Europeans learn to heat their homes without Russian gas, we're going to keep playing this game for a long, long time. That's our show. Thank you so much for joining us. Please be sure to like our videos on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Remember, you can find the podcast version of this show on all the major podcast apps. And if you think we've earned it, please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. We're back tomorrow night at 9 with an all-new show, and we sure hope to see you then. Good night. Hey, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you like what we're doing here, the best way to support the show is to become a premium subscriber, which you can do at the top link right down there in the description. As a premium Seannie Mac Show subscriber, you'll get the full video and audio versions of every episode early and ad-free. That's before anyone else gets it and without me asking you to do stuff like I am right now. Plus, you'll get exclusive behind-the-scenes content, a weekly Q&A with me, where you can ask me anything and I'll answer it, and premium subscribers get exclusive discounts on all our future merchandise, as well as discounts on tickets to all of our future live shows. It really is the best way to support the show and keep it going. Again, that's at the top link right down there in the description. Do it, and I will love you forever. Okay, now back to the show.